Hey, it's Rick from Automotive Consultants again, and I wanted to show you an incident that happened in the shop this morning. We have customers come to us with a new battery installed by the battery companies that visit your home. AAA does it. There's other ones that come by. They put a battery in, and then what happens is it goes dead the next day. This scenario happens a lot. This gentleman came in this morning, and what we found is when we look at the battery here, it's a new battery. The battery's good, but intermittently it just won't start. When he came in, I told him to just crank it, and you see here smoke was coming out of this terminal. I wanted to show you, when you have a battery, it's so important to have the terminals clean. But this is what happened. This is the heart of the electrical system. I'm going to take this off right here while you're here, and we can see what it looks like in here, because it should not have smoke coming out of here when you're starting the vehicle. Smoke means there's resistance. Once you crank the car to start it, the starter draws a lot of amps, and those amps pull through this cable, this hot lead here. And if there's not a good connection, it's going to create heat, and it's going to have a low cranking voltage, a low charging voltage. So we're going to open this little connector here. I wanted to do this while we're recording it so we can all see this together. I haven't taken this off yet, but I know there's going to be an issue underneath this add-on clamp. There you go. This should be clean copper, and it shouldn't have any of this on there. Watch. What this is acid. You can just see it. This is acid from the previous battery, most likely leaking from the cells into the cable. And it's amazing that this car actually drove in here, because how are you going to get electrical transfer through this connector when there's not any exposed copper? Even where the terminal is here, you can see. How is it going to have a good electrical connection through this? All this acts like an insulator and stops the flow of voltage. So when we put a new one on here and clean it, this gentleman's going to have a better running car. His lights are going to be brighter. It's going to start a lot quicker when he hits the key in the morning. And this is the heart of the electrical system. So all the fuel injection in here, you see sensors, you see these electrical connectors, vacuum solenoids, anything that has an electrical signal to the computer is going to get the correct amount of voltage and operate more efficiently. So this is what we're going to help this gentleman with just making this connector right and correct. I'll show you a little bit later. Thanks. Hey, it's Rick. I'm back again. I wanted to show you the finished product of our cable replacement. You can see we used the same type that he had before, because there's two large cables here. This is what was in there. We replaced it. They had both of these cables underneath this clamp before. There was too much cable in that area, so we put one cable here, and we crimped on another one on this end, so it has good contact, and it gets a good bite here. You can see the copper in the wire there where I clean the wiring. Sometimes the acid that we saw gets down the threads. We have to really soak it, let the neutralizer penetrate it. It's a basic spray you see here that has it's got like a baking soda base that neutralizes the acid. It's not harmful to your hands, this product, but you want to, anywhere there was acid prior, you want to spray it just to neutralize it, because acid that lays around here in the engine compartment is an area where corrosion and damage could take place on an existing brackets and wire connectors, and it might cause you a problem in the future. And you can see here, this is what the wires look like inside, and you can see the acid penetrated into the copper wiring. And this spray, when you spray it, I'll show you. When you put the spray on it, it'll foam. It foams up and it starts neutralizing that acid. That's how we treated the cable in here too when we put it together. But this should work well. Keep the gentleman on the road and not have a problem. Thank you till next time. Take care.